Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. Going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to do a shout out video, which I haven't done before, so I thought, I feel like I could do something like this, but how would I do it? What the format's going to be? Because I watched loads of channels, and I don't want this video to drag on and on and on. So I've kind of limited it. So here's what I'm going to do. Any YouTuber that I watch which has got less subscriptions to me, I may give a shout out to. And the way I've kind of limited it is I want to give one YouTuber a shout out per kind of format of their channel, if that makes sense. So I want to give a shout out to one reviewer, one unboxer, and stuff like that, one vlogger. So that's pretty much the format. There's not so that there's not other great channels that I watch, but I don't want to kind of like harp on too many times, you know, loads and loads of names, it just gets too long in this video. So I want to keep it to one YouTuber per type of channel that they have, and I may do another one of these if you get. So these are all guys who I enjoy watching. And, you know, I strongly urge you to go and check out their channels. So let's get started anyway. Now, I hope you don't mind the guys who I'm going to mention. I'm going to try and pinch a few images from your channels to give, obviously, anyone watching this a little bit of context. Hope that's okay. Anyway, the first channel I'm going to talk about is Roll Credits. Now, this is hosted by a young lady called Adele. Now, she's an Australian lady who is living in Los Angeles, and I've started watching her a couple of months ago, and I have to say I was really impressed with her channel. Not quite sure how long she's been doing it. I don't think it's all that long, to be honest, but her channel comes across as so professional, and you know, I'm really just so impressed with what she's done. It doesn't hurt that she's of course very easy on the eye, but that's not the reason I watch her channel, I'll point out. She comes across as just so articulate in the way she kind of expresses her opinions about different films and stuff like that. Very kind of professional in her approach. You know, her videos have a very kind of slick and you know, again, professional sort of feel to it. They're kind of well edited, you know, well sort of presented, and just very well made. So I really enjoy her channels, considering I don't think she's been doing it all that long. And she basically reviews a variety of different sort of films, some TV shows, and she also has done some kind of like behind the scenes stuff. I guess living in Los Angeles, you can't help but know someone who's involved in the kind of the movie industry. Just kind of couple of kind of behind the scenes things for a few films, and you know, I think a couple of premieres, things like that. But overall, very insightful. You know, it doesn't quite sort of go along with the kind of the traditional views of some films, as I kind of liked as well. You know, she has her own opinions. So go check her out. Really good channel. That's Roll Credits with Adele. I'll leave the links to all these guys just, you know, in the description box below. Anyway, the next guy I want to talk about is a guy who collects a lot of movies and basically does kind of collection updates every so often. And I'm talking about Robb the movie collector, who is also Australian, but he actually lives in Australia. And basically, Robb is a guy who I've been subscribed to for some time, and is just such a sort of down-to-earth guy, very kind of an informal type video, and you know, who goes through a lot of films, obviously, hence the name Robb the movie collector, buys a lot of movies and kind of goes through different collections and stuff like that. And one of the things I like about this channel is, living in the UK, obviously I see all the UK releases, and obviously quite a lot of the American stuff, that tends to be the kind of what you see most of, but I'm very interested to see the kind of the Australian issues of a lot of these kind of movies, so it's kind of nice to see the different artwork and things like that, different releases that I may not necessarily know about here in the UK. And Robb gives some, you know, obviously his own opinions about the different sort of films as he's kind of sort of going through his sort of collection, and you know, very insightful. So very down to earth. He often comments on my videos as well, which I appreciate. And you know, as well as that, he kind of does sometimes different sort of, I guess, sort of out and about videos, things like that. So great channel, go check him out. The next channel I'm going to talk about is a vlogging channel, or vlog, I guess sometimes you'd call it incorrectly. Anyway, and this is the Camera Hates Me, and the girl who does this, I believe her name is Ada, and she's, you know, she's a young American girl, and she's kind of a bit of a geeky, bit of a kind of nerdy girl. But she makes very funny videos, and like Roll Credits, very professional looking, I have to say. I was really impressed with the kind of, I don't want to say production value exactly, but just the way they kind of look, you know, very slick videos, kind of well put together with kind of lots of kind of, you know, editing effects and video effects and stuff like that. So very well made, and she's a funny girl. She has a great sense of humour, but the best thing about this channel is she absolutely likes to kind of almost make fun of herself, and she's not one of these people who are sort of, I don't know, look at me, I'm so, you know, I'm so fantastic. She kind of is very much in on the joke, which I think is great. The humour skews a little bit young for some people, maybe, I would say, But nevertheless, I think she's, you know, quite a funny YouTuber, and she definitely deserves some more love. So go check her out. And then the final channel is basically a movie production channel of a kind of low budget B-movie, and the company is called Arrowstorm, but the actual channel I think is like, it almost looks like Arrow's Torment, but there you go. Anyway, and this is the company behind B-movies that I enjoy watching, like Orc Wars, Rise of the Warrior, stuff like that, Saga, and they basically produce these kind of genre films on a kind of low budget, and sometimes maybe fly under the radar. I mean, they've not all been hits, to be fair, but I've enjoyed the majority of them, and you know, they're worth checking out if you like your kind of like maybe fantasy films, especially. They do lots of kind of like the sword and sorcery types. They've also done kind of science fiction films. They've got one in production now called Mythica, I think, and they kind of, again, it shows you sort of behind the scenes stuff, interviews of some of the sort of the cast and things like that. So again, if you kind of like your, I guess your maybe not quite mainstream genre films, then it's worth checking these guys out, because some of their films are actually quite well made considering the budget. And I have to say, although they're not perfect, I have enjoyed the majority of them, and I will check further films out from this production company. So go check them guys out. It's very interesting to sort of kind of see, I guess, behind the scenes from a lower budget sort of, you know, standpoint. We all see these kind of making of videos from the high budget films, so it's kind of nice to sort of see maybe the lower budget guys how they doing it. You know, how they kind of make this guerrilla filmmaking. So this is the 4 channels that I have picked. Anyway, look, anyone I haven't mentioned, it's not going to think if I still enjoy channels, but I kind of don't want to go on too much. I don't want to, I've kept it tried to make it one type of YouTube channel each, if that makes sense. So I may do another one of these later on down the line. I'm going to leave the links to all these channels I've mentioned in the description, so go check them out. If you enjoy the channels, I urge you to subscribe them and support them, and then support the YouTube community. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these videos, and I hope you enjoy checking these guys out. Thanks for watching.